Hi, listeners. It's time to start fresh with the new year.
Yes, it's time to get your wine brand's message into the ears of wine industry insiders.
Don't wait. Act now.
Email Zoe at theforetop.org or reach out to us on social media to learn more about sponsoring The Foretop.
Okay, guys, New Year's resolution time.
Oh. Uh well, I think mine is I'm going to try to grow 1 more inch in 2025.
That's achievable.
And that's what I've been kind of leaning towards is trying to hit 6'4". So yeah, I'm going to grow an inch in 2025. Hang upside down by my ankles, lots of stretching, stuff like that.
See, if this was a year ago and we all hadn't met in person, that would be possibly believable.
Possible. Yeah.
My New Year's resolution sounds kind of silly, but it's true. I want to be able to run 1 full mile without feeling out of breath by the end of 2025. And I've
That's a good one.
during my walks, I run to one song and that's it. And I've been getting better. So
That gets
that's
you
my
pretty
goal.
far, one song.
Yeah.
I think if you also work on getting taller, that will help because your stride will get longer. So you
You're
might
so right.
incorporate mine into yours.
Yeah.
too.
What the listeners don't know is that I'm also 6'3". So
Mhm,
I do need to become 6'4".
mhm.
I tried to read 24 books this year. I thought that's an attainable number, and I think I only hit like
Ooh.
21. So I think I'm going to just re-up 2024's resolution and just repurpose it for next year.
That was also my resolution for this past year, and I did not make it to 24
No.
books.
It seems like such an easy number. It's like a book every 2 weeks, but then life happens or the
Yeah.
book sucks.
I think 21 is a good number. I mean, I think you should be proud of that.
Yeah, it's an admirable number. You know
I'll take
what's
that.
easier to obtain though is 1 inch.
1 inch.
Mm.
Yeah.
You
Well,
can
I'm
just
only
add 1 inch to
5'6".
your height.
Yeah.
So you could be 5'7".
I wonder if I could get one of those like extensions at the knee, you know?
No, see that
Yeah.
Those things
cheat,
are real.
cheating.
People are
Yeah.
getting
No,
those.
no, 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 no. You
Yeah.
got to do it naturally. Sorry.
Oh, come on.
Just hang from a chin-up bar. I think 21 is an impressive number of books. And a few years ago, my resolution was to give myself permission to not finish books.
Ooh.
And
I like that.
I'm just going to share that I just chose to not finish the newest Sally Rooney book.
That's okay.
Isn't that controversial?
I heard mixed things about it. I have it. I haven't started it yet.
Catherine, what's your resolution?
Well, guys, this is a beverage podcast, so I thought we were doing our beverage resolutions. But in keeping, Nick, with your resolution, maybe mine is to make time expand. That would be cool because every day I realize I'm behind, and it's not for lack of trying. But okay, but my beverage resolution is I went through this period where I was getting headaches from red wine, which in the wine industry we always say is not possible, and I was totally getting them. And so I kind of like laid off the red wine. And this year my resolution is to reconnect with red wine on a deeper level because I've just been drinking delicious whites, rosés, and sparklings for a few years now. And I mean, I've been drinking red, but not drinking red. I've just been tasting it.
Right,
So.
right. All right, I suppose we should also do drinks ones. Ruby, do you have a drinks one?
I do. I think I actually have two. So one is that I feel like the past few years I've experimented with a different spirit each year. So like 2023 for me was the year of gin. Like I was making a lot of gin cocktails, gin spritzes. And then this past year I got really into Amaro. And so I think I need to find my next spirit to make drinks with, and I'm open to suggestions. And then I think I'd also, after speaking to Women Who Sparkle a few weeks ago, I think I'd like to try more American sparkling wines this year because I don't know that I've had them. So those are my two.
All right.
Those are quite honorable. I feel the same way. I feel like I kind of get stuck with the same liquor and I just end up getting I like a spicy margarita. Like I can't deny myself that pleasure, but the addition of mezcal has been helpful. It's kind of like, it's the smokier, sexier cousin. But I've found that like really weird, funky aperitifs have been a fun little way to kind of sidetrack my usual cocktail order. I got into Malort. I hate to say it, but I kind of like Malort.
I need to get some Malort.
I Malorted at a bar here in Portland, and they gave me a sticker for it because they know how much of a challenge it is. So,
So funny. I don't know that I've ever had Malort.
It's not as bad as people make it sound, I'll be
Okay.
honest.
Yeah, it's like Jaeger or Fernet, but like
Yes.
worse.
I had Fernet, I think, for the first time this year.
Yeah. Fernet and Coke, that hits. It's a good
Yeah.
one.
Is that your resolution to drink more of those things, or do you have a separate?
I have a separate one. I have been pushing it off for the last couple of years, but I really do want to go and get my W set level 1 and maybe level 2. I think level 2 is pushing
Nice.
it, but at least level 1 done this year. It's not very difficult. I think if you have any sort of basic wine knowledge, it seems like something that's pretty attainable. It's more of the price that I'm dealing with that I'm kind of having to set aside that money. But I think it'll make me feel like a more empowered wine lover if I have that in my back pocket.
That is a really
Okay.
That's really
fantastic
cool.
resolution. I love that.
We'll see if it actually happens.
If people sponsor the Four Top, then that would be like one step closer to your goal.
That's
I
our
love that.
campaign. That's our campaign.
Get Zoe W set certified.
Yes. Yes.
You know what? I'll take it. Any donations towards my education would be greatly appreciated. Email me at zoe, at thefourtop.org.
I love that. I love that.
Nick, what about you?
My drinks related New Year's resolution is all of my wine glasses inch taller,
Okay.
and all of my wine pours take up an inch more of the glass. So it's all about inches. You know, like good sports coaches, like good football coaches tell you it's about inches, not yards. And that's what I'm focusing on. So inch taller wine glasses, taller pours of wine. Yeah.
I wish you the best, and I hope everything gets one inch taller for you.
Yeah.
And Happy New Year, everyone.
And Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. All right, listeners, I'm Catherine Cole here with Rupi Welkovich, Zoe Davis, and Nick Toole, and this episode is dropping on New Year's Day. So we are looking back on this past year of news stories on the Four Top and sharing our favorites. So here goes. Ruby, do you want to go first and share your favorite wine news story of this past year?
Because I am who I am, I can't just choose one thing. So I have two stories. The first one was from episode 132. The story comes from Business Insider. Beatrice Nolan wrote an article called "A Parisian Wine Bar Banned TikTokers and Hired a Bouncer to Control Crowds After It Became an Unwilling Viral Sensation." And I just loved everything about this story. First of all, I loved that this like wine bar / ice cream shop went viral on TikTok, and how French of the owners to be like, absolutely not. We don't want this. And then, of course, there's like a picture in this article of a man standing outside of the door, and it says, "No TikTok." And I believe, Catherine, you went here actually and took a similar picture.
I know.
Catherine.
I felt like such a horrible person. But to be clear, I went there thinking I was going to be able to order some wine with some ice cream, and that was my intent. But we walked in the door and they were like, "We're sorry, we're going to close soon. No more orders." And I was like, "Damn!" Then all I can do is take the photo. I had no other choice.
Well, the real question is, was there a bouncer there?
No, it was a weeknight. It was about like 9:30 p.m., something like that. And no, I think the craziness has died down a little. It just seemed like a bunch of cool people in a like cool natural wine bar that happened to have ice cream.
So fun.
I really wanted to hang out. I'm gonna have to go back to Paris just for that.
I think we should take a Four Top trip to Paris. We did London last year. 2025 is the year we go to Paris.
Sponsors, you heard us. Support our travel.
Fund our trip, please.
Okay, so my second article is from the San Francisco Chronicle. It comes from episode 144. This is an article by Esther Mobley, and it's titled "Cute Sheep Are Everywhere in Wine Country. Some Say the Trend Has Gone Too Far." And I feel like we got a lot of traction with this story, just talking about whether this was considered greenwashing or what. But there was one quote that I loved from this article, and it was just, "This is going to be the golden era for sheep." I just love that so much.
They deserve it.
They really do. Yeah. So those are my 2 favorite articles from this year.
Well, those are fantastic.
Thank you. All right. Those were my 2 articles. Who wants to go next?
I'm happy. I'm happy to go next. So my favorite story from this year came from Reason. It was an article titled "The Federal Government is Literally Taxing Air," and it was about how you can be taxed differently depending on how carbonated your beverage is, which just seems like a really unfair way of doing things. And we got to talk to my friend who owns a cidery here in Maine, so that added to it, made it fun. And then we also got to secure a statement from Representative Earl Blumenauer of Oregon about that, because he's sponsoring a bill that would modernize what they call the bubble tax so that it is more fair to folks making carbonated alcoholic beverages, wine, ciders, and all that. So I thought this was a very interesting story, and you can check out episode 164 to learn more about it.
Love that.
Support bubbly producers.
Yeah.
Yes.
I was really hung up on the Ghosts of Napa story this year. I think it's because I'm just obsessed with anything morbid and paranormal. So I really enjoyed the conversation that you guys had. I was not on that one. It has inspired me to look into more, vineyards with ghosty or dark histories, because I think so much of the time we forget these like ancient gorgeous vineyards and tasting rooms probably have a lot of dark stories behind the wine. So it's been maybe another New Year's resolution of mine is to start asking people if they've ever had any weird paranormal experiences in the tasting room.
Oh.
Mm.
It's a
That's
good
fun.
conversation starter at the very least. I think sometimes they're tired of, how's your day? I love this wine. Pour me
Yeah.
more. Where's the toilet?
Where's... Stop talking to me. I need to go to the bathroom.
Yes, but if you have any interest in listening to that episode, it was episode 177, Ghosts, Ghouls, and GPTs. And big shout out to Jason Wise of Som TV. I loved everything that he was doing in there.
Yeah, he's great. That came about because he released a movie, a documentary about ghosts in Napa Valley called Ghosts of Napa Valley, I believe.
Yes, correct. Great. That's all I got.
Nice.
I just love ghosts and wine.
Excellent.
That's my contribution.
I am going to wrap up this episode with my all around favorite news story of the year. And you know what? It ties into New Year's and resolutions and getting through the holidays and health and all the things. And that is the wonderful feel good story in the New York Times this year by Allie Watkins entitled "In an Italian Village, a Mayor Walks Off the Wine and Everyone Joins In."
Oh, yeah.
I remember this story.
I love this. This is about the town of Valdobbiadene in the heart of Prosecco country. The mayor, Luciano Fregonese, was having to attend too many events. And of course, his constituents are all winemakers and farmers and chefs. And so he was going to like 3 events every weekend, and he started to get very heavy. And so his friends did an intervention, and they all started power walking together. And it turned into this WhatsApp group, and then the entire town's population started power walking together. And so now they have these weekly walks through the beautiful hills of Prosecco country, Conegliano Valdobbiadene, of more than 200 people just walking through the hills. And it just sounds so lovely and makes me think of all the beautiful wine producing regions in the world where you can hike and bike and enjoy the outdoors and have delicious wine and be healthy. And cheers. Cheers to Luciano Fregonese, mayor of Valdobbiadene. And listeners, if you live in a wine producing town, shoot us a message via social media and let us know how you get out and exercise, and maybe send us some pictures too, because I love that. I love that about wine country.
2 weeks ago, Chris Fade, who joined us as one of the women who sparkle, suggested people incorporate biking into their wine adventures, or wine into their biking adventures. So
yes,
that's a place to start.
I am wholeheartedly in favor of that. I had an amazing experience biking on the Danube River this summer. It was
cool,
fabulous in Austria.
So I actually do these like morning walks, and usually my friends and I will meet up in the park and go for a walk. But we've been talking lately about maybe switching on some mornings to go in the evenings and to just each bring like a little glass of wine in a to-go cup and drinking the wine on our walk. So
that sounds dreamy.
That was a big COVID move for my wife and I.
Mm-hmm. Well, thanks, guys. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
This has been the Four Top Podcast. I am our executive producer, Catherine Cole.
I am our producer, Nick Toole.
I'm media and design manager, Ruby Welkovich.
I'm sales manager, Zoe Davis.
Keelan King is the composer and performer of our theme music.
Hey y'all, here's a New Year's resolution. Please share your favorite Four Top episode with a friend.
You can grab the episode link from your favorite podcast platform or our website at thefourtop.org.
Well, in my mind, I am strolling the beautiful green hilltops of Conegliano Valdobbiadene with a glass of Prosecco in hand. This is Catherine signing out.
1 sec, let me just measure. And yep, I'm already 1/4 of an inch taller, and it's only January 1st. This is Nick signing out.
And in my mind, I am in a Parisian wine bar, petting a sheep. This is Ruby signing out.
I gotta get back to studying, guys. This is Zoe signing out. Stay safe out there, and thanks for listening.